Going into the season, there was a lot of hype around rookie running back RJ Harvey, drafted in the second round. A lot of upside when you look at his athletic prowess, what he was doing in training camp, minicamp, and OTAs. J.K. Dobbins has been holding it down, but he's banged up. We're going to deep dive RJ Harvey today to see whether or not you want to start him or if you need him for your fantasy football team or if you want to leave him alone. It's whatever you want to do, but we're going to go over the advanced analytics in the situation. But before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now. We're deep diving these players every single day. When news hits, we do a deep dive. When somebody's trending, we're doing a deep dive. That way, if you need to know more about that player, it's going to be here. Just look them up, see what they're up to, and then make your decision on the data, whether you want to pick them up, start them, trade them, bench them, stay away, whatever. Click that subscribe button. Stop missing out, though, because Ric Flair's watching. You don't want to disappoint Ric Flair. But J.K. Dobbins is missing practices, and probably the verdict is going to be there by the time you watch this video because it's being recorded in advance, and odds are he's going to be out this week. We got the Chiefs this week, and RJ Harvey's the next man up. RJ Harvey better be rostered in your league. There's probably some leagues out there that are looking at him and thinking, but he better be rostered in your league. Heavy pickup in draft season, has been popping off and on throughout the year, had back-to-back weeks in weeks 8 and 9. We just had a low game, and then we're waiting for what's going to happen with this verdict here with J.K. Dobbins, but RJ Harvey better be rostered in your league. He was a 3-star recruit coming out of high school here. 13 offers, not a huge market after him as we were a dual threat quarterback. We eventually transferred to UCF, and we have a little slow start, and we blow up 2023, 2024 after we get past the injuries here, and we take over 22 touchdowns last year in 2024, 3.88 yards after contact per attempt, 3.68 on our career, yards after the catch per reception, 10 on our career. All this says, and what this really says, is that when we get the ball in space, we have the potential to go off. We have the potential to eat up chunks of yards. That's what that says. 10.0 yards after the catch per reception. On top of that, 8 out of 2.5. So we're running routes downfield. We see that on the tape from UCF. We're also seeing them get used in that department here with the Denver Broncos. And we get drafted in the second round. 4.4 40-yard dash, 205 pounds. I liked him a lot going into the draft. And my big thing about him is that I wanted to see what the NFL thought about him when it came to the draft. He went in the second round. Big-time draft capital. And now they got the sunk cost invested in him. Sean Payton said he was very excited about him and that he had to keep his mouth shut about RJ Harvey so nobody else would swoop in and steal him from him. But you're looking at a very explosive running back prospect here that tests out well, that has good production to his name, and you're looking at this backfield. J.K. Dobbins came in and stole the show. He looked good. Hats off to him. RJ Harvey's now going to get that opportunity. You also got some other running backs here that we're going to talk about, but J.K. Dobbins has been solid this year. He hasn't been grandiose, though, but he's been keeping the chains moving. A solid, steady RB2 most weeks from week to week. That's a good thing to see. We also got Jaleel McLaughlin. He's been a healthy scratch in a lot of games. Don't really need him when you got J.K. and R.J., but Jaleel McLaughlin, good catching ball in the backfield, just a solid running back for an NFL team. Not great for fantasy unless we hit pay dirt or we catch a couple extra balls. You also got Tyler Batty. He's been sprinkled in. He might catch some added opportunities. And one thing that has been mentioned on Twitter is they are worried about these two running backs stealing enough workload that RJ Harvey doesn't matter this week. That's in the range of outcomes, but also in the offseason, Sean Payton could shut up about him, this might be his opportunity to get him more involved. And you're looking at this offense. RJ Harvey, 4.3 yards per carry, 214 yards, a 19% share of the rushing attempts. He's getting some workload here. He's getting opportunity. So the odds of him getting messed with isn't that grandiose. It's not like they're getting sprinkled in a lot in this offense. They're truly not. It's RJ and JK together, and JK's out right now, and we're looking at the yards after contact per attempt. 3.18 for both running backs, 4.3 yards per carry for RJ Harvey, 5 for J.K. Dobbins. He's been solid. The veteran's been looking good. RJ Harvey's got 2 runs of 15-plus yards and 2 of 10-plus yards or more. And J.K. Dobbins has 21. He has been rocking solid. J.K. Dobbins has been holding it down. You got Batty, you got McLaughlin there, and you're looking at the work in the passing game. RJ Harvey has been leading the charge with 10 routes per game, and that should probably increase because J.K. Dobbins has been seeing around 8 routes per game, and RJ Harvey should be getting to work in the passing game. Not a lot of targets going to the running backs, though. That is hurting the floor. You can definitely see that floor get impacted with J.K. Dobbins week to week as you see those RB3 weeks in there and his scoring production, but you're looking at RJ Harvey. He's going to be running a lot of routes. Like, that's one thing you can probably predict with him. He's so explosive and he's so good in the passing game that he should be getting work running routes downfield too, and a route participation rate at 27.9%. That should probably increase to 30-plus pretty easily. RJ Harvey has splashed 3 weeks already this season in a 1B RB2 role. So we got opportunity with that, and we're averaging 10 PPR points per game when we're looking at J.K. Dobbins, who's averaging a little bit more than 11. He's just splashed really hard in 3 games. So he has the potential in the right game script, right series even, to just splash. He has the explosiveness, that nature into his profile here to just go off on any given moment. And when you have that, sometimes the game script, the defense you're going up against may not even matter because all it takes is one play to house it. You're looking at this matchup against the Chiefs. Rougher matchup, that's one thing to say. The Chiefs are allowing 18.7 PPR points per game, but they're allowing more running backs to get to the fairway this year compared to last year, but they're also shutting down running backs. So it is a risky game that could potentially propel him with him getting more workload into good fantasy production, but it's also a risky matchup as this team has held some running backs in check here. Travis Etienne, Dave Montgomery, and Gibbs, Genty, and Amarin Hampton, and you're looking at where he's ranked here. Ranked as the RB24 on Fantasy Pros. Considering the matchup, considering the potential workload, that RB2 range seems safe. So you're looking at him versus Kenneth Walker, him versus Tyron Tracy, him versus Dave Montgomery. You're kind of rolling and edging more RJ Harvey in those scenarios. Maybe him above Rashad White. Him and Woody Marks is a good stalemate there as Woody Marks got a nice matchup. You got DeAndre Swift, who's sharing the workload a little bit more. Breece Hall already played. Quinshawn Judkins should be getting a lot of workload, but the quarterback play has been sucking pretty bad there. So you're looking at that. He's RB2-ish. He's a solid flex as well. Him above Cortland Sutton is an interesting dichotomy considering the matchup. Debo, Quentin Johnson, Jameson Williams. Really, it's risky wide receivers with more upside, or RJ Harvey, who you can project to get the workload to get you around 10 PPR fantasy points. What are you risking there? There's also a chance with this Chiefs defense to push him down to 8 PPR fantasy points. He's done that to a number of running backs. There's a chance for that. Though you're looking at RJ Harvey, at least you know the touches are going to be there. At least you know that. Outside of that, you're shooting for the upside of some of those other wide receivers. You're looking at Khalil Shakur, T-Mac, Jordan Addison. You're shooting that upside. But if you are in a position where you want to guarantee to get to the fairway in 8-ish to 10-ish, you'll take that as like your little floor, but you're more likely around that 10 to 12 range because you're looking at the matchup you're in. You're easily going to beat that team. You just don't want to whiff so hard. The running back position will get you there more often than not with the touches. Odds are they're not going to bust out on you as likely as a wide receiver if the game script rolls bad, because the game script rolls horrifically bad. The targets may not be there. It just may not be there. Like it may be just 5 targets, 3 of them overshot or something like that. At least RJ Harvey, you know he's getting the touches. But the upside and the higher potential points scoring in total, T-Mac, Jordan Addison, Debo, Quentin, J-Mo, they all got higher. So if you need higher, I'd be shooting on the wide receivers. That's the caveat to that. That is the strategy to that. And you have to be able to put the nuts on the table and answer that for yourself. He is RB2-ish this week. That's it. He's RB2-ish with J.K. Dobbins out. Softer matchups, borderline RB1-ish. That's what he is in this scenario. There is risk that he gets messed with touches, but I think that's very low. And then on top of that, that matchup is a huge risk for him for hitting upside, but I think he's safe for that 10-point range. 8 to 10, floor, 10, 12 more likely PPR-ish, 15-ish, somewhere there. You don't need him. Somehow you're good at running back. Somehow you're good. Somehow you're solid at running back. Some of you guys might be looking at him off the waiver wire. Like, some of you guys might be. Like, he's a rookie, and a lot of leagues that are just work leagues, they sit on their hands a little too much. And a rookie like this with a lot of upside that's only popped off for 3 games on the season might just be casted away, or there's just too much turning and burning. Now you're seeing players slip through the cracks, which has potential for that. A lot of upside, too. All he has to do is crack on one play, but odds are we're hitting the fairway with this matchup. You take that with what you want. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to hear about that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. Thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video.